अखंड ज्योति जलाओ साई मन मंदिर में।
Sai Ravi Nakkina here today, a very familiar face to us at the Atlantis Eye Center. You've contributed in so many ways, Ravi. Leadership, devotion, SSE, so many places you have served our center throughout the years. And in those years, I believe you have a story that has a connection, not just with the Sai Center, but throughout your life, that has to do with Vibhuti. Can you take us through your journey and how Vibhuti has played a big role in your life?
Sai Ram. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. Indeed, it's a great opportunity to come forward and sharing Swami's stories with each one of you. I'm very grateful for the opportunity and delighted to be here. Thank you for the warm introduction as well, Darshana. Sai Ram. So Vibhuti definitely plays a special role in each one of us, in each one of our life. So likewise, it's in my life as well. So in the early stages of my path to Swami, in the year 1997, when we were first time traveling to US, the day before our journey, Ramni fell sick. I think it is due to food poisoning, something like that. I'll just try to trim down the story, but at the end of the day, we had to admit her into the hospital. And the day of the journey, I was in a limbo where Swami was in Vrindavan, Whitefields, and I wanted to go and take Swami's darshan, but at the same time, Ramni was still on the bed in the hospital. But fortunately, she was very supportive that I was able to go for Swami's darshan. Then I was so fortunate that morning in the morning darshan that a person who was sitting before me had this boon of receiving Swami's Vibhuti. I witnessed Swami materializing, Vibhuti and giving him. And fortunately, out of his grace, I also received a small portion of it. Then, I brought the Vibhuti, then went straight to the hospital. It was around 10:30 a.m. and I was wondering whether, there is any room that, they're going to discharge on me, and there were no instructions. But however, I received not only Vibhuti Akshatas also, I've given her in the hospital, and half an hour later, fortunately, she got discharged, and 12 hours later, we started flying to, US. And since then, I know it is very powerful, it is very meaningful, something very special, a special energy is in there. So that Vibhuti journey continued. Part of 85th birthday, I had great fortune of being there. And on November 24th of 85th birthday, right? So we had a group interview with the Vidyavahani group, and I had great fortune of receiving Swami's Vibhuti, actually 5 packets, he has given. And I used to, carefully keep it and consume and, give it to people as and when needed. Then when Swami left his physical body, I used to break down like a small child, every now and then, even if I think of it, I used to pray to him, Swami, with your grace, with your blessings, anything and everything is achievable. There is nothing that I cannot achieve. There's nothing that I cannot receive. But for one thing, that is your own Vibhuti, the Vibhuti that you manifested, or, that the Vibhuti that, you have, given to us. So I used to feel so bad. Then with that thought process, continued for several months or a year plus. Then out of nowhere, there's an official from Prashanti Nilayam was visiting Atlanta, and we had great fortune of hosting him at home. And whenever anybody comes, any guest speakers or any official, all that we do is, we are like sevadal, just caretakers, not even asking a question, not even asking for anything. But guess what? So this gentleman, I don't know. He said he gave me a big, chunk of packet to me. And that haldi kumkum for ladies put that auspicious turmeric haldi and kumkum, right? That plus a bunch of vibhuti packets, and just for this is something that I always carry. Swami's vibhuti, right? So packets like this, Swami given packets like this. The bunch of them, in the packet. Then that day, I was told myself, all that we have to have is that sincere yearning, and even something that is impossible to, really receive is definitely possible. That's what Swami has shown. This Vibhuti played a significant role in many lives. So this Swami given Vibhuti. What has happened that anytime you come across people going through, let us say, some situations or some such circumstances and things like that, it's not like that somebody asks or anything, something gets prompted, it's his vibhuti, right? I'm just a vehicle or a mailman, you give it to people, whom, it should go to. There were two different families going through, unfortunately, they were wanting to have children, but both the sisters were having miscarriage after miscarriage and things like that, and due to that they were also running into some health issues. One was a colleague of mine, one was one of our own Sai brother's wife. In fact, recently he covered a story also, stories of part of stories of his glories, right? So in both the cases, when they were sick, Swami's Vibhuti was offered. A year later, in fact, for both the girls now, they have boys, I think 1 year, 3 months old, something like that. So these are all, again, live, witness. There's another person at workplace. She went through kidney transplant surgery. So everything went well, but even after a year's time, she was, she was not settled down. She was going through a lot of health issues. So one particular evening, I noticed this lady was like so weak. And fortunately, this lady also came to our Sai center at least about 2-3 times. So she does not need any introduction to Swami and all this. Then I called her, hey, what's happening? How is life? How are things? Then followed by, I offered Vibhuti to her. And by his grace, I know it's a miracle, come through. She's completely fine now and completely healthy. One of our friend's daughter, I know she was having high fever for about 3 days, and this dad was so worried. One evening I went by and given them, again, Swami's Vibhuti. By next morning, fever was gone. At the same time, my elder brother was going through, kidney stones problem. So he was, suffering, poor guy. So then one particular evening he was mentioning, Ravi, this pain, that's something, nobody should go through. So I felt so bad, even to my own family members. I don't necessarily pull out Vibhuti and give just like that, unless there is a need. So that I felt so bad. All that I did was that I put Vibhuti in a cup, then put water and mixed them. Then I gave him, here you go, take it. Next morning, as I was waking up, my brother tells me, the stone has fallen. I'm relieved. I was so glad. It is that powerful. Then maybe, one last story, on Vibhuti, for today, even though there are many, is that this is again one of our colleagues' wife was having cancer. So even though we're all colleagues at work, we're all like family members. So the gentleman was sharing, how the family and children and whole 9 yards, the pain basically. Then I told him, and fortunately this gentleman goes to church, regularly. He's a very God-loving, person. So we just like that, we get connected. So I told him, buddy, end of the day, names and forms may be many. The message is same, and what you experience, what I experience is the same thing. But this is what I believe in. If you are okay, if you'd like to, I'll give you a small picture of Swami Baba, and also this Vibhuti. Then he asked me, what is this white powder, right? Then I told him, it's a sacred ash, very clean. It does the a cleansing work for all of us. Again, only if you believe in. If not really believe in, if you're okay, I would like to offer. Then he said, listen, I know it'll only do good. And so I gave him a small portion of it. And picture, he said, keep the picture with you, just pray for us. Then I have given him the Vibhuti, and he definitely has given to his wife. And few months later, she completely got cured. So there are many, stories surrounding Vibhuti, and it's very special, very near and dear to me. But at the same time, I often pray to Swami, and I often remind myself that in this whole process, I'm only a storekeeper or a mailman. Whenever I get a dispatch instruction, his Vibhuti is dispatched. But other than that, I just witnessed all the miracles taking place through his Vibhuti. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Love you all. Jai Sai.